So everybody knows that this stuff catches fish right here. Love it or hate it, it works. So I have a bunch of different ones here that we're going to be trying out. We got the Potski fire bait. I've used the salmon eggs. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But this is the Sierra Gold, the good old magic bait. We're gonna get some of this in the water and start this video because we have been waiting all morning. I think it's only fair we start with the power bait. So since it's still a little dark for the camera and the bite's not on fire yet, we will get this in here. Putting it on there, just getting it right out there about. Let's get, oh, you got something?
Oh, I know you. All right.
You know me?
Well, I know your YouTube channel.
Oh, really? Yeah. I appreciate you, thank you. Biggest piece of driftwood you ever hooked in your life, or? We have our Potski fire bait. I tried to grab from the orange side. Also doesn't have as much scent as the power bait, in my opinion. And we'll get this casted out to our usual area. Potski and power bait. Got him on the Potski. Jeez, that was quick. I did not expect that one to get bit first. All right, well, that is strike one for the Potski fire bait. May end up keeping this one. We let the first one go, but we'll see here. He's pulling a little. Pretty much your standard stocked trout. Let's see how big he is. We did bring the net for all you net gurus. All right, that is going to be our second fish landed of the day. The first one was in the dark, you guys could not see him, but it's a solid little stalker rainbow. Throw him on the stringer. Limit is 4. Nice one to not start the day with, but nice one to put on the stringer. Anyways, since we caught one on that, we're going to try this Sierra Gold next. Right here, this is the only one in a glass container. All right, guys, we got this new trout bait loaded up on the underwater camera rod and got that casted right down there. In this video, you're gonna see a lot of differences compared to my last underwater video in this spot. For instance, we're immediately seeing tons of suckerfish, like way too many suckerfish. And in last video, I'll roll the clip right here. And then in last video, this is what it looked like. Pretty much looked like a fishing game. The fish were kind of all just slowly cruising in this deep hole over here. And then back to present day, all these sucker fish are kind of just sitting, hanging out. We did see this little largemouth here cruise right in front of the camera though, along with a school of trout there at the top. It seemed like the trout that you do see in this clip right here just weren't really in the feeding mode. This guy kind of seemed a little interested. But the trout you'll see in the background are kind of just cruising around. It kind of seems like they're not really used to their environment yet. Those suckerfish just aren't doing anything. But look, towards the top here, there's kind of just fish just cruising along, not really looking for food, not really sitting in one spot, kind of just moving around. And this happens a lot when the fish are freshly stocked. They are not quite, they're not quite accustomed to their surroundings yet, so they kind of just swim around until they figure things out. Had one on the power bait. Pretty sure he dropped it though. Oh no, he's got it still. Power bait. Power bait. Power bait. I was pretty sure that one was gonna happen. He's pulling a little bit. Pretty good one. Okay, so we've caught one on the Potski. We have now hooked one, not landed yet, on the power bait. It's a pretty good one too. This one is for sure gonna get kept. It's one of those short, fat ones. Still nothing on the Zeeks. That one was in before the power bait too. Look at that. Little hooked jaw. Kind of resembling a small steelhead or something, but he's got the clip fins. That is strike 1 for powerbait. It's actually like strike 3 for powerbait, but there he is, beautiful fish. Let's get him loaded up here. All right, here our next cast, we get it right back out there. And this time we're gonna see a little bit more fish. We have a little trout that follows it down. This time the angle was kind of like angled up, and you'll see that trout kind of cruise by there, along with a few more in the top of the water column. But like I said, these fish were not really in the feeding mood. It didn't appear. But here we're gonna see a lot of fish come by. Here we go. Giant school of trout. This is exactly what they look like when they get off the truck. They kind of just start cruising around with each other, not too sure what to do. But there's probably a good 25, 30 fish in that pod right there. This was like a fair amount of time after they stocked also. I think this was about a week after, but these fish, as you can see, they were just still schooled up like that, not really feeding. We did see a fair amount of bass though. Here we'll have another bass come up to the camera here. Pretty decent one, probably the biggest one I've seen in the Salt River. Here again, we'll have another pod of those trout. Bunch of fish, just not really in the feeding mood. And there's that largemouth again. Here we'll have a curious guy come up to the camera. But yeah, guys, other than that, it was just really, really slow this day. I think I saw 5 fish caught. So I was not satisfied with my trip. So I decided to make a trip out there the next day. And this is what happened. We actually already have 1 fish. This is a very special fish. And I'll show you guys when the sun comes out more because I want to get a good angle of it. Only gotten like a couple bites, 1 fish. I've only seen 2 fish caught, so we're gonna get back down there. The garlic power bait has been the only thing I can get bit on this morning. We just missed the fish as we turned the camera on, so. We got one. I think a nice one. I just saw him jump out there. Ooh, yeah, I think that's a good one. Jeez, right when I turn the camera on. Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. Jesus. We do have the baby net. Oh, my goodness. He's taking drag. Spanking us. He's just kind of bulldozing us right now. Almost up. Dude, my goodness. Garlic, like I said, has been the only thing we can seem to get bit on. It's a fighter. Oh, he's barely on there too. Yes. Jesus. That is by far my biggest out of the Salt River. I'm not holding him out, guys. That is a fatty McGee right there. On the garlic. Ooh, what a fight. After getting that fish loaded up, we did get our underwater camera down there once more. Fishing this day was just very, very slow. I was hoping the fish would have adjusted from the day before, but they really just didn't. See these sucker fish just kind of sitting on the bottom. You can tell the water's a little crispy for them there. We'll see this one trout swim by, and that is the only one we saw this day. So either these fish got cleaned out from the day before, or they are just in a completely different part of this hole right here. But that is all we saw. This morning in the dark, right before I turned on the camera, we got this beautiful lightning trout, palomino, banana trout, whatever you want to call them. I wanted to let him go, but he had it just too deep. I wasn't able to get the hook set in time. And then soon after that, we smacked this fatty right here. Jeez, biggest one I have caught out of this river. Hopefully he's nice and red in there, but that is how we kind of got started this morning.